some laundry, so that's why I'm a little late.
That's okay. Hello again, everybody. Hope everybody is good. Hope everybody is amazing. It's Thursday. We're beginning another edition of the Watch Party, starting with episodes 14 through 16. We had a really interesting last three episodes. The princess has been identified, although they did very great foreshadowing and breadcrumbs along the way if you pay attention enough.
Oh, absolutely. This is when the show starts to get really good, in my opinion. Get some great episodes up to this point, but this is when really the plot kicks into high gear, and the remainder of the season is just story arcs after story arc. It is done so well, in my opinion, that I absolutely love it. But, however, before we begin, I have a request for everybody who's going to be watching the stream later. Anime Night, the link will be just sent to you. I have a poll going on right now, so you guys, for your fate of my channel, you guys can decide on which two games I'm going to play. Either Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remaster or Hellblade Senua's Saga 2. So you guys go down below, link in the description below. Please vote. The poll is still going on, and please vote. Please make it fun, make it interesting. I'm like, which game am I gonna play? So you guys decide, and then I shall reveal the winner, and then I'll at the end of probably a nightcast next week, then I'll be like, all right, that's the game I'm playing. So please go ahead and go vote. Please, I need all the voters.
Alrighty, let's see.
So far, I only got 2 votes, but you have 4 days left, so plenty of time. So please, the more the merrier.
Hey, Sailor Outlaw. I think I think I voted on this on that
I see
poll.
2 votes so far. One for Hellblade, one for Tomb Raider. So,
Okay.
anyways, let's get started.
Interesting picks and everything. Hang on one second. Let me start that real quick. Make it important. Oh, nope, not that one. This one. There we go. Alrighty. Watch party is in session. Just so everybody's aware, the watch link is already provided. It's at the very top of the chat. Uh, we will join you. We'll see you all again soon after the third episode. Also, be sure to vote for Joker's poll and everything. Uh, we'll catch you all in a little bit.
Parent Night, the best episode next to the finale. What's up, George? Hope you're doing well. See? See? It's the same book. Ooh, ooh. Hmm. A local bookstore for family tree of your family tree on parent night, and she doesn't understand her own parents. Oh, dude, I just love this show when they do live. Okay, pause. This is a great scene to show. God. Pause. 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 Go. Stop. Pause. 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 Yes. and now she's in full darkness. Here we go. God, this shot goes hard. Pause it. Pause the end. Go back a little bit to that part of the show. A little more. A little more. A little more. There we go. There. God, the shot goes hard. And also, it's ironic that the school looks a little bit more like a castle, and they're walking outside for the light.
That is attention to detail.
Also, if you notice throughout this entire episode, up to the midway point, is that we start in light, but then we get more into shadows and shadows. Even in the room shot, she feels lonely, shrouded in some darkness a little bit. Then she goes to the family tree and everything, wants to know where all of her family members are. Notice how her parents are in light, and
Yep.
she's slowly getting. Yes, it's finally consuming her. Up to this point, they were clever. They knew where to put it. So think about that next time when you're watching shows like this back in the day, and how lighting plays a huge important to people. It shows you exactly that. We're gonna light it up like this way, folks, because we want to see those shadows. We want to see the highlights. We want to see those details. And now she's fully in darkness. I love it. I love it. I love details like this. So good for a mid 2000s show like this. I can only think about stuff back in Western animation like Samurai Jack even doing this that we're still keeping alive. But a little show called Witch also kept it alive. So thank you. I miss stuff like this, but you're never gonna see
And
this more in
also,
modern.
and also, the Clone Wars 2003 that had a lot of
Yeah, Gendy
foreshadowing.
as well. Gendy as
Uh,
well. So
he Getty knows what he's doing. He knew what
with
he
this
was
team of
doing.
animators and artists, they kept it alive.
I wish
All right.
I wish we had a season 3 of the Clone Wars 2003. Oh, that was so good.
That was a great show. That was such a good show.
And it moved the plot along too, so I'm actually impressed.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's continue. Yes, here we go. Now that, my friends, is a great reveal. That was amazing. And it's still awesome as a kid. You have several questions right now, but also I love how his voice actor changes his pitch and probably even his posture in recording, going like, "Elion, so nice to see you." I'm like, here's
Elion,
me going,
darling. Elion, darling, how are you? Oh my goodness.
here's me just going. But this is also my favorite part of the episode.
My first question was why does that lady look like a crackhead?
But keep watching. It gets. I like the detail they do in this section of the show. Children of the staff. Mm-hmm. The great Lord Cedric doesn't want us to know of his evil plan. Yes, get those 2000 sound effects out of here. What? I had to say it. Despite me loving the show and some of the early 2000s, maybe 90s shows, you can never escape those sound effects. Sure, anybody with an Adobe computer app will probably like, oh, I can use these sound effects, but get the sound effects out of here. Leave them in the past. Yes, it might have been hard to record stuff, but I just love this part of the episode because it's like, oh, look at the families you got. Oh, here's a terrarium. Children. How did they get stuck here? Also, why does Tyrene know about arachnids? What classes are she taking?
I wondered that too, buddy. I wondered that too.
She must be taking plants, animals, and you. That's what I took. So you get to learn about animals. So she must be taking a class like that. So I was like, that knowledge comes into place because you never know when it's going to come in handy. And look at that. It's coming back. So she just saved the girl from making a grave error. Haleen, they have multiple eyes. Technical difficulty, folks. We'll be right back with you. Try logging back out and try logging back in. Yeah, there you go. God, I love it. Love it. God, they cook so well. I love it. I love it. You can see the manipulation of what Maria could look like because that's Cedric's powers, like manipulating everything. Yet when they walk away from everything, it goes back to what it actually is like under his rule.
Exactly, it's really. By the way, I do agree with you on that Adobe thing. I could tell they were using you could tell they were using Adobe or something. You could tell at that time.
At that time. Like it's pretty probably was accessible at that time. Like even like Silent Hill One was no, not Silent Hill One. Fatal Frame One used a lot of those stock screams back in the day, and it's like, oh yes, these famous screams that I'm like, go away. And then you get to Silent Hill 2, they weren't using as the Fatal Frame 2, they weren't quite as using as many, but I just love these later episodes. God, they get so good. They get so much better. It's like, and this is actually my favorite. If we'll see who it focuses on, because it just feels like it's the next day or like it's the next week, but it's so fucking good. Let's
Right?
continue. either.
The speed of the speed, like just bam, done.
And Phobos, you don't want to. Hey, Phobos, you would be a great musician or an amazing quick drawer. It's like I told you, this is one of my favorites because
I
it's the B plot's amazing, but the A is also excellent.
You know what? As bad of a guy as Phobos is, you gotta admit he is at least he does when he really puts it up there. He puts it up there.
Like he's literally Two Face right now. We saw the evil side. It's like, hold on. Also, he's a good decorator.
I give him credit. I give him credit. I wish
Also,
I wish more bad guys did this. I really wish
to
because that would
show like not full blown sympathy, guys. No, I hate when they get the full bad guy sympathy. At least show that's like they're allowed to pull up the facade for a while. Let them play it for a little bit. Even the war, like that old guy, which we all hated back in the day, was like, well, he's a nice to a few kids. Like this is that example. He's nice to Elion for now until the charade's all up. So it's like, love it.
the gaslighting of the
This is
gaslighting.
gaslighting 101, folks. This is also, despite his face melting for a second, he's like, oh, it's upsetting. Doesn't allow her to answer. Here, let me show you more. Gas. Folks, this is why I love this show.
It's perfect. It's like, oh damn, you amplified that gaslighting, darling.
It's like, oh no, she moved on. Here, let me show you some more. Also, it's called the Viewing Stone. I love that name. There she is.
And
Show.
with
Don't
and with and with a different monster sound this time. Thank you.
thank you. Probably got a little higher budget this time around, but that's how you do the show. Don't tell.
Mhm.
Caleb can tell you about it, but then Blanc gets to show that, oh, there she is.
Yep. That's detail right there. I like little bits like that.
Yeah, we see them on top running, and then we let's just pan down and show the snails, the worms going after them.
It's
Nice.
just it's just those little details you got to
Going the
appreciate.
extra mile. Worth it.
Also, I'm glad it's the babies and not the mama, even though we saw the back of the mama. Still kept it. Still kept the
Like Caleb
idea
said, the
going.
babies hunt, mama follows. So it's like wherever they go, she goes. It's like, ooh, it's gonna be good. You're not Goku or Gohan. Go this way. Walk this way. Go this way. Multiple episodes later, the boyfriend is back. Man, the grandma always knows where to walk right in.
She's she just knows. It's so creepy. Just like when Fry from Futurama turns on the TV at the precise moment, and it's like, how do you do that?
How do you do that? It's or the professor. Good news,
Who's
everyone.
everyone?
Good news, everyone. And then Bender comes in and is like, good news, everyone. And then he's like, wait, what? Thank you. Eat my shiny metal ass. I'm sorry, not John Domingo. Or exactly, if you're playing Hyperdimension Neptunia, Lydia knows exactly when to get angry. I get what you're saying, but that's not very nice. Okay, then. God, I wish I could get up that high. I used to get up high for Chairman Lee's voice, but I can't anymore. It hurts. Okay, then.
Okay, then we can go
It's the only voice I can do from Vibrant Neptunia, because it's Plutia.
Of course we can. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's hot.
I
Oh,
know, it hurts, doesn't it?
oh fuck. Like, just try to maintain it at a constant
At a
speed.
consistent level.
I could do on a normal day. I could do it for a full 10 minutes, but on a night like this, I can't. I can barely go 5. It just depends on the day and what my energy is
Cassandra
the
Lee
whole day.
Morse would say, you gotta cut back on the Mountain Dew.
Yeah, you're right on that
If you
one.
want to be a
But
voice actor, you gotta cut back on the sweets.
I'm trying.
She actually will tell you that because I was at a panel years ago. She said that I know we like our Mountain Dew, but you gotta drink some water. And Blanc has it. Yep, there it is. Wait, don't transform. Good, Pedro. Good.
The regular board.
Yep. As you wish. Girl, go get it. Sorry, but that shot goes hard. Yes, that weighs against the buildings. Goes hard. There, right there, right there. That's perfect. Show them the shot. This is such a great shot. God, like hell, he's already in his full true form. Like he's not afraid to hide anymore. That's why it goes so hard.
Hey, Jorge, what's up, buddy? Watching the
That's
new
why it goes
He-Man.
so hard.
Yes. Ooh,
Folks, use
awesome.
your buildings, use your background, show the scale, emphasize the threat. Like this is a Michael Bay shot right here.
This is a shot Michael Bay wishes he could have on a daily basis.
No, he actually does. Actually, he frames his actors like if they're giants against buildings. But this is a Michael Bay shot. This is a great shot. All right, let's continue. First, it goes left, then right. First of
He's
all, how do you
fast
get on that building?
without being seen.
I know they said it have to said the I know they said the town, but they can't be everybody. Like what, like 10, 15 people at max?
Yeah, so well, not counting the people inside, but I doubt you can hear it. You can hear the horn through the thing.
Well, we're giving the benefit of the doubt that he probably turned back human, climbed up, transform, then probably de-transform, and then transform again later. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Amazing.
Damn, some good episodes. All three of them went really well. And they moved the story along each. I take it I take it oh god. A lot of good factors going in, and
So we start episode 14. This is pretty much coming off the hot heels of episode 12 and 13, where everyone is just feeling depressed, sad, down. Yes, the villains are defeated, but they're getting so closer to finding the princess. And when you get to episode 14, it goes, oh boy, what are they going to do? What are they going to talk about? And it's like, well, it's parent teacher night. Those wonderful things we get to do.
oh, and to all you and to all you modern day watchers and listeners out there, yeah, parent teacher day was not, well, parent teacher night was not fun for the most part, depending on where you went.
Depending on who you are, depending on which kid you are. If you're a good kid, things went great. If you're a bad kid, it's like,
Just hide in the
oh,
closet. just hide in the closet and just pretend you're in a
you might have
different
a lot of
place.
explaining to do on why your grades are suffering. Sometimes you get lucky, other times you don't. So those are always wonderful. Sometimes they do like the school assembly where it's like, okay, every kid has to do this all these stuff. Freshmen have to do it. It's like, okay, just sit here and just listen to everything. This is what a school's like, yada yada yada. Those are always fun. But the reason why this works out so well is because on one hand, they do a lot of telling that episode, but like they always do, but they really did Irene justice with her constantly being in shadows where everyone else is either in light or in shadows. Yes, we start off with the whole here's the plot up of the episode, and for them, the villains, for Phobos and Cedric, there was no more time to be wasting. We must get her now, as in, this is the time to get her. And what way to perfectly sum it up is the parent-teacher conference, meaning that everybody else gets to bring their kid, and despite the fact them being in the library and everything and talking about everything, I love how Cedric gets the idea of like do a family tree because she keeps constantly talking about that. I'm losing my friends. I'm losing Cornelia. Hell, I don't even know my own parents. Granted, the show didn't do a great job of establishing parents on purpose because our main focus has always been the girls. So I'll let that slide. Maybe it's done better in the comic book. I don't know, but probably is. But the fact shows kept bringing in the fact that I feel more comfortable here in the bookstore with you, the owner. That's not uncommon to hear that if a kid, whether it be in middle school or high school, feels comfortable elsewhere in society. That is true. That's what they get correctly. So it builds up the stakes. Go ahead.
That it does, and also, I don't know about you. I've noticed in the last couple of years of watching uh anime and shows like this, and behind the world of voice acting, I notice when a voice actor says their final line and leaves for the duration of the show. I've noticed that. It's a little thing you do notice from time to time, but other than that, episode 14 really kicked off what happened after 13. It's always that cliffhanger at the end. It's like, oh, because back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, you had to wait another week for the next episode to come out. You had to wait another week. That was like the, oh, you just wanted the scream factor. Like, but I gotta know what happens. Also, the mud slug one, that was actually the one I remember seeing first. So
Oh, really?
I was way past. I must have started way late because then, for
Yeah,
whatever.
that was the mud one was episode 15. So I started when the show premiered with those two parters and wondering, man, what's the show going to be about? But as 14 goes on, again, you get that shadow, that lining that she's really alone, even in that house of hers. That again, I love the fact that a light was deliberately placed over the parents, and she keeps asking all these questions. Where's my aunt? Where's my uncle? Where's my cousins? Oh, they didn't like to keep photos and everything. So you tell me who was in this car crash? It's like I would be asking so many things, and they get that. I do like the fact they transform. Like perhaps we should tell her that she's not from this world, that we're not human. So you do figure out again in that continuity on who actually saved her that night. And I love the fact they do transform when she's away. I'm like, hmm. And then I love the contrast between all the different photos of the girls that she really is alone. And oh boy, Cedric being in the school alone was like, this is so creepy. And it takes up the Caleb to figure out like, that's him. That's like perfect. And I do like the fact that again, all the manipulation has worked off. The Guardians didn't care that she saw her transform. At that point, it doesn't matter. You either defeat Cedric, he retreats back to Phobos, being like, I failed to get your sister, or Cedric wins at the end and is able to get the manipulation in, but also allow Irene to finally say what she needs to say. I love that episode. It's a great episode. Also, just how they play with the lighting and shadows and darkness works so well here. I love it. And it doesn't feel like, oh, it's a cliffhanger ending. No, this feels like the villains finally won, and now you get to see what their little plan is for now.
Exactly. And that's the thing with like modern cartoons and modern anime nowadays. You don't let the bad guy get that one moment. I mean, it took Draken from Kim Possible the entire series plus two movies to get to where he was. And for the most part, it worked. I went back and watched the movie and I realized that it was a magnificent payoff. He
Yeah, that
finally
movie
got
was like perfect. Like he had the perfect plan. He had the perfect setup. And then even then, it's like, no, you foiled it. It's like,
but to see him
but
but
it was worth it. It's kind of like Invader Zim with their movie. That it's nice to see them finally win. That they got that almost sort of victory, and it's like, yeah, yeah, baby.
and
Here,
and
perfect.
here it's good because it's like, okay, we actually get to see what Phobos does. And for the most part, on the outside,
It's
and for the most
just
part,
simple manipulation
it's
and gaslight.
terrifying.
But also they show you the subtlety of her powers like right away. But it's not even so. They show it right away. So it's like, oh, so that's what he's after. I love that little tease of her powers. Like she's able to flip a car, people, along with destroy part of the block that they're in. It's like, oh, no
And they
wonder
all
why he
just
wants her.
and the girl's face is in Caleb's face after all that. They're like,
They're
uh,
just, they're just like,
it was
"Mm."
it was perfect reaction. They had the perfect perfect reaction to the whole thing. Any
It was
other
good.
reaction, it would not have worked. It would not have worked.
That's why you need to show the way when they got that, huh? It's like,
That's
oh,
all you
she
need.
visceral sells it perfect,
You don't need
and I love
dialogue for it. You don't need dialogue for it. Just the look
modern
of
day stuff
low.
would add the dialogue or be like, we just got our asses kicked. I'm like, no, 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 you're ruining the moment. Like in Volume 2 of Ruby, after the torture fight
Oh
was in the
god,
map,
oh
and then
god,
Neon shows up.
that one
Despite
was
the
a
great music that's
disaster.
playing and an amazing battle choreograph we got, it's like, whew, well then, see ya, Neo, would you? I love that little bow that Neo does, and then Gang does the shattering the glass. Like, oh, she escapes, and then White is like, well, that shattered. I'm like, oh, no,
Oh,
no.
or like Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Maul when they're going at it, and then Darth Maul says something, and it's like, why? Why ruin the choreography and
Why
everything? You
ruin the
had a good thing
choreography?
going.
I mean, I would have preferred the reaction, or if Weiss said something like, Neo, I know that name. And it's like, huh? That would have worked a little better. Because it's
Yes.
like, oh, she knows the name. And then she kind of explains it later, the next scene later. It's like, okay, so this is who she is. One incredible, yada, 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 stealing from the Schnee Company. That's all I needed to know. Although I really don't know Neo's backstory. I stopped watching Ruby after Volume 5, so I'm like, there's that. Or like I said, the example for he in a modern day movie, if they ever create the shootout sequence from the downtown LA, it'll be generic edgy music sounding or just generic music sound awesome. You will hear somebody make a stupid joke that goes like, man, I'm glad I'm shooting now instead of my ex-wife or something like that. I'm like, oh god, get the fuck out of here.
That's
Like just
why
let
that's
the
what
kid explain itself.
whenever I try to watch something and there's like a shootout scene and it's like yes, yes, and it's that one thing and I'm like
Don't make a joke. Someone made a joke.
Don't. And then it happens. So it's like, And then after that episode, I go back to watching Heat with Val Kilmer, and I watch the bank shootout downtown.
Just to get the palate cleanse. I'm like, people, this is how it's done.
Just to be reminded of how.
Also, I love the fact that I can't remember that they redo this stuff, but it's one of the few times they use other things. Like they go through one portal, yet they're smaller because they're in the
Terranium
tarantula habitat. I'm like, and then when they escape, they don't get bigger. They still stay tiny. I'm like,
I like that detail though. I do like the detail.
Consistency. I love that because it wasn't a normal.
Because in any other show or anime, they would suddenly magically get bigger again. It's like
for a comedic moment, I'll be like, "Well, okay, there's that."
So basically, the whole thing's been ruined when they do that, and it's like, can't you just keep it consistent for one scene? But I'm glad they did that. They didn't do that with this one. I'm glad they kept them small throughout and everything. And
then the next, it was perfect. We didn't need to see them go through the portal again. It's more that the worst is yet to come. Then episode 15, our Cornelia center focus episode. This must be at least months at this time or maybe at least a few weeks or something like that. Because it's like, oh, wow, she's still on that trip for a while for Elion. It's one of the classmates say. It's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty long. And my partner was that. Then it's like, oh, Will's partner's sick. You can see the tension with these two. They're not getting along. Because for Cornelia, like I mentioned, she just lost her best friend since, as she said, since the 4th grade. They're what at least in middle school right now, around that time frame with these children. I'm like, so for half your life at least you've known this girl, and now she's gone in the clutches of these villains. To be fair, here's the thing: they've never even met Phobos. Remember that 15 episodes into this, they've never met Phobos. They met Cedric. They met the Watcher.
But they never met
else.
But they never met him, and that's the creepy thing. If they think Cedric's bad, Phobos is worse.
That's why I love having your lead villain never meet the actual heroes until it's finally time. Super Sentai, any Tosakus, Power Rangers, comic books, when they're done right, when your lead villain guy is in the shadows and everything, at least metaphorically speaking, and they've never met the heroes, this builds your tension. Sure, you can fight the henchmen all the time, but when you're finally face to face with them, it's like, oh, this is the guy we're fighting. Like I still remember Digimon, where it was Digimon Frontier. It was the actual main antagonist that we finally got to see, the one with the whole angel wings and everything. And I remember it was the guy who was the electric Digimon. I can't remember the name actually, but he's like, that little boy's the main antagonist. But then what does he do after those two henchmen? Kills him in one shot, if I recall correctly. And it's like, oh. Because in the realm of Digimon, size does not matter.
Nope.
It was like, oh.
Size matters not.
Digimon, Pokemon, you name it. And Digimon liked the revolution better because it was like, oh, because he was like more like a young kid, like he more like an angel. But then what he does, it's like, oh, well, there goes those two Digimon, and we have all the human Digimon because Frontier is really the only season that the humans become the Digimon, and I love that concept so much. And it was
it was crazy watching that for the first time. I wish I could watch it again for the first time. because that concept right there, I'm like, why does this work? Because on paper it sounds crazy. On paper
Like
it
human
sounds
beings, did you
crazy.
know way the concept is that they're supposed to have tamers and whatnot? It doesn't work. It's the animals starting to transform into these machine-like monsters. Crazy. And to think they have that original artist after all these years still. But it's like, dude, this is amazing that they get to become the Digimon. The cool sequence and everything. I always like the English sequence better because that is just some great, like more ethereal techno music that they get to transform to. I was like, yeah, this is so cool, and they get to do the moves and everything.
I did watch the dub of that. I did watch the dub of Frontier. I mean, not the sub of Frontier. The sub. Personally, I prefer the dub better because it hits different. It
The
hits
dub music was so good. Like at the time, it was so good. But when you
and
do something like that, it makes us go, "Wow, it's amazing." But in Witch's case, it's like you don't even know what Cedric's doing. They don't know. We do, the audience, because they keep jumping back and forth between the manipulation, the gaslighting, and like we said, that now keep up the parade. It's a nice country, people. I'm not evil. I'm not a bad guy. And then when she goes away, it goes. That's what I love about his actor. He's able to do that two face.
but you can tell.
I'm a
But
kind
I
little
feel like,
brother, big brother.
but also you can sort of tell he doesn't like doing it from time to time. You could just that's that bit right there, that tiny 5% bit. The 5% at least. That's a fair
You saw
assessment.
with the photos of the alleged relatives. It's like, here's your aunt, here's your uncle, cousin. This is like,
Yeah,
ugh.
with the crackhead look blonde lady. It's like,
I love the fact when he walks away, the world goes back to what it was versus the fake illusion. Like even the garden looks so. I'm like, oh, this is a nice garden, and then that parrot turns into a horrifying monster. I'm like, oh, ooh, ooh,
no
and that
thank you.
fountain becomes very muddy. It's like, oh, someone needs to clean that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that. But when the focus is on Cornelia in this episode, I love her arguments. Every argument feels legitimate, not
Authentic.
just as a friend, but also as we failed as guardians. Like this is done. Normal teenager life isn't theirs anymore for the past. Let's give it a month or so between each episode, like up to 15. Let's say they've been guardians. Let's say month, maybe two at most at best, because they talked about the school dance, teacher nights. I'm like, yeah, that's probably around this time frame. If they start, let's say mid late fall to kind of close to winter time. That's like, yeah, that makes sense, at least where they are timing frame wise, but though it looks more spring like. But it's like, yeah, I feel every legitimate argument. Even Halen's like, look, it's not just Will's fault. Like, you're right, Halen. It wasn't just Will's fault. Everybody has a part to blame if only they could see it. But I love the fact that Cornelius says, that's it. I'm done. Walks away. Perfect. We don't need any more of that. I felt like she had made her statement very loud and clear. Even Caleb couldn't get to her at first. I was like, dude, if Caleb's not getting to Cornelia, the one who she likes the most, then
Something's
she
very wrong.
really is feeling it. Like you feel it with her performance that I'm done. Love her. That's why I love Cornelia.
Exactly, and they articulate it so well. And given at the time, ladies and gentlemen, because remember, this is an early 2000s show, and me, Joker, and a few others around this time, most of us were either in high school or in junior high school at the time. So around that time, it does resonate with that audience, and the current world, the real world setting. It tells it in a really great way. And that's why I like it when the school stuff comes in. It's like, oh god, I'm back in this fucking classroom again. Or oh god, not again.
Also, the
Ah,
same she has to be reminded that she would just sit right there, but Elion's not here, so I'm glad they're keeping up the facade. That's like, yeah, they're just on a very long vacation. Like, we don't know when they're coming back. To just be reminded that she's not there. Also, I love in the locker little detail. She still keeps the photo of Elion, so very nice. But when the slugs get introduced in this episode,
Oh, that was perfect.
I love it because, again, like we talked about earlier, the gaslight, the manipulations, like the subtlety, like, oh, you don't like that? Let me show you some more. I love how they're
because
grooming her perfectly.
I like it better when the gaslighting is subtle and not like out there, like completely out there. I like it's subtle and it's there. And it's like, oh crap! It's at he literally because he gaslit her in real time rather to be like, hey, take a look at this. And I like the fact that Elion did not notice. I like that because it keeps it going and it's perfect. Nowadays, when you try and do that scene, it falls flat the minute the realization happens.
They either make it too cheesy or they're trying really hard. But like it's Anime Night Sunshine, these are like preteens who like say close to middle school, like around that frame, sixth, seventh, eighth grade, right there, and they're slowly discovering themselves. But at the same time, it's like the youngest probably of the group just had her whole life be lied to. She's actually from Meridia. And when she sees all the fake memories, it's like, they all moved on without me. That's why she drops the locket. And it's like, when Phobos looks at everything, he's like, the blonde one's done being a guardian. That's when he goes, oh, I know how to deal with them right now. See, that's what I also love about villains, when they know more, when they let on. It's like, let's give them the slugs.
Exactly, and it's like I have the perfect bait for it because that's set up. That's set
The
up
hair
to the
locket.
yeah, because then and then the payoff of everything when the girls
He could have
realize,
done the
wait a
hunt.
minute,
He could have done the Watcher again, but it's like, no. We already got this guy a couple episodes, so let's do something brand new. I'm like, hey, slugs from Meridia. We've seen the mama being Godzilla size. I'm like, you guys are gonna need something a little bigger.
but also the subtlety and this and like
Like she's depressed. Like listen to the songs she's listened to. They may be fake, but you probably have heard some depressing songs of some people
oh
feeling alone and lost. So this fits that time. This is a time capsule. I love this.
And when I was watching, I'm like, thank God I'm not streaming this because I would have been hit with copyright galore. But but that aside, yes, you are right. There have been times because I've known people who have music like that, and I have been around that kind. Well, been around the type actually. My phrasing. Uh, with that being said, I like the fact that they kept the mama away, like off screen for the episode, and also showing like the camera pan out, showing the baby slugs going through the ground and everything. That is wonderful detail.
I love that detail, or like one of my favorite details in 14 where Tyrene she wears the glasses, so you get to see the reflection of Cedric at the glasses. So I'm like, yes,
Oh, that was
that was
crisp.
nice.
I'm a sucker for reflective detail off of
Look at
glasses.
our big talk for Snow White on the original transformation sequence. If you can find it again, folks, we went to town on old school classic Disney animation where they were the powerhouse in a lot of stuff. Like, yes, this was wonderful to see in comparing to the modern day god awful live action remake. And we're like, you lose everything. It's just, let me just drink the potion and just walk down the flight of stairs. I want the transformation. I want the reflection. I want the bubbles. I want to feel the pain of this transformation.
You want
Not
to
just
feel
and just walk off.
that was it was so stupid. That's how you destroy a film in 10 seconds. You lead to the payoff. If Gal Gadot did not say one goddamn word in that movie, it would have been fine. It would have been fine. Now look, nothing against Gal Gadot.
Thanks, Will. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
Hey, Bullet, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, get some news.
But
back to Witch. All about little details that we like in these episodes. They just add up nicely. Even if someone's gonna say, "Well, they don't have to do those little details," guys like, "Oh, somebody on the team or members went the extra mile."
How about we go out back and then we'll show you real artistic fun.
Someone on the team went the extra mile, and for us, we can appreciate that. I see a Kingdom Hearts fan compare 3 to the Avengers, and I'm like, this really isn't Endgame, guys. Please. Let's say the actual Endgame scenario to something different, or they try to do their parallels with different movies, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's fun. Let me do the parallels of Rango, a much better movie. 2 other stuff. But when you go the extra mile, I applaud that. It's like, nice.
Also, there is another subtle detail that we notice. Cornelia straining, the sweat and everything.
I love that because that's my girl. After the whole, like, we can't get her, mama's coming, like, we need to do something, apologize. Where do they go to? The studio. It's locked. What happens? What do we do? Like, without Witch and everything, that's when Irma's like, Will, what's in your backpack? Remember what Tyrene said, that why that backpack's so heavy? The 40-pound crystal? Oh, this thing just does whatever it wants to do. I need to make a shout out to my request for Cornelia. And I just like how Cornelia is just sitting there like this. It's like, I've seen people do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she finally huge, she's like, and then Will gives the monologue speech we're waiting for. And it's like, all right, time to stop being depressing and moody. Let's go help out the girls. They transform everything, but like you said, it's the strain. Yeah, they're back at the full power, but you see Cornelia get strained. Like, yeah, sure, she's done stuff with tables, trees, vines, the actual earth itself, but doing something at this big and large scale, that's got to be heavy. Like, you got to get it through the portal. It's not just one thing. You got to lift the mama slug up. It's like, this thing's got to weigh a ton at least. So I love the strain. Like, she's tiring herself up, but like, I got to do this. This is my ability. They can't do this. Only she can. Love the character development.
Exactly. And I love the, and also the same thing with Jean Grey and X-Men Evolution, the strain as well. You can see it too. And I like the detail right there. And it goes to show that these people do have their limits from time to time. It's just trying to find out where is the limit.
When they're together, they grow. When you are separated and are, like we say, going through all these moods that any teenager goes through, like you quit the team, you see their powers get weaker. Typically, yes, like, but Halen's win. She could, like, yeah, she's launching guards left and right in Meridia on a daily basis. These tiny slugs should be nothing. But notice how the winds just aren't the same anymore. They were,
and the slugs too. They just held the ground like, oh, and then realized, oh, wait a minute, that was nothing. Attack.
I love that. So,
but and also
go ahead.
And also Tarani's fire, like she's trying and everything. then Irma trying to use water, but it just falls flat.
And I also love it when they're in their civilian outfits and they do their attacks. I'm like, thank you.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
nice to
you.
see that they will still do even with the not full guarding forms. Also, give props to Caleb for distracting Mama. Hey, Mom! I was like, oh, Caleb, that's a death sentence. How did you
That's
not die? I'll tell you why. The slug is not a Spanish slug.
he had
If that was a Spanish slug, I would have been like,
Shadow the Hedgehog moment.
if that was a Spanish slug, I would have been like, oh, Caleb, I'll pour one out for you, brothers. Hey, we're just about to wrap up here. Hey, thank you for stepping.
Hey, Katrina, what's up? What's
And I
up?
do like the fact they do make up quickly, although I probably would let it go on just a bit longer, just to say that I said I forgive my girls, not you, but that's just me. But I love if we wrap it up. And then episode 16, a nice little more laid back, little low stakes, but the hint has said that Prince Phobos is still looking for where the rebels are hiding out. And I love the gimmick thing of the day. It's this horn thing, the you blow into it, people get hypnotized, becoming zombie like. That was
That
that was just a fun
impressive.
episode. That was just a fun episode. We get like multiple serious episodes in a row. We get a more laid back one. Low stakes, but something that will come back later of them getting into the Infinite City. So I love it.
I feel like the one scene where they're walking into this, they're marching through the city, and he's blowing the horn. He turns to the two people. That was deliberate. That
That
was
was the
that was no accident. That was deliberate. He did that on purpose. He did that on the one time he deserved to have his bricks beaten off is that one time. That was on purpose. I
no. As a fellow
could
trumpet
forgive an
player, he
accident.
gets a pass. As a fellow trumpet player, he gets a pass. Although it's a little strange that Haling's like, and why not and multiple auto tunes oboes? I'm like, technically speaking, the oboes would not be playing in a marching band, actually, to what I can recall correctly. It just depends on what your school allows to what's actually being in a marching band. Do they allow? They do allow a lot of different woodwinds, but some of them are not played in a typical marching band. So some students would have to find different instruments to play. So if you pick one that's like, oh, but this isn't for a marching band, it's like you'll still play your traditional instrument for your grade, but when you do the full pep band, marching band stuff, it'll be like you gotta go find a different instrument to play.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Joker, you're the band person, you're the music person in this room. How accurate was the school marching band? How accurate?
For the most part, they were accurate with some of the instruments and some of the marching. But for a show like this, it's not the full focus of the marching band. It just gets a normal, whatever. I'm not going to pay that much attention. If this is a full blown animation show about marching, I would be like, all right, I would be more critical about that. I'd be like, okay, what are they getting wrong? What are they getting incorrect? So, plus, it was just for a fun little gag. So I love the little gag. Just the thing.
I figure I get your opinion on it based on the
They're just
scene and
marching throughout the entire. Well, like typically, if you're practicing marching, you go through like a few blocks or several blocks, at least within the school district. I don't know where the school's located in this damn city. They're just marching around like crazy, and then you get to school and you just see
you could probably
multiple people there.
march. You could probably march from New Jersey to Times Square in that amount of time with zero effort.
Also, at the same time, when Haley blocked it, I'm like, is that cop still there? Going. Also, the fact that it was Caleb's fault that the horn got lost.
Oh yeah, that was so
The
bad.
one time Blanc did them a solid without realizing, it's like, Caleb, no, not Caleb.
Although
And then
there
he
is
blocked
one, I have one critique of that episode. One critique. why show the harp if we're not going to use it?
Well, it's like I know. It's like you just have to destroy it, so why? But I think they're trying to say just find the strings. So a harp is a string, a guitar is a string-ish, but not really. It's more of a I can't pronounce, but it does have some strings on it. So, but I thought like, yeah, they're gonna show the harp as a kid. No, it's a guitar, but you just have to play the notes, I guess. So does that mean does any note work? Like you got multiple instruments in that marching band. You don't think a single one of them would match the rhythm at least to what was shown by the great one? I'm like, really? Really?
That's
And it takes
but that's
Caleb
just my
grabbing
one.
with the guitar to do it. Really?
That guy
Also,
could
how
be in
did
a.
Caleb get on that building? And Blanca's like, yeah, we're ready to go.
Where did they get the amp from, too?
What? What's going on here?
The only reason why Cedric on the
Finally breaks
the only reason why Cedric on the roof gets a pass is because, well, he gets a pass because he's a thing. He can get up there no problem.
He probably
Caleb,
just
on the other
jumped up
hand,
there.
I'm like, what parkour gymnastics with a guitar did you do to get
I'm like,
up
I
there?
don't see no ladders back there. Maybe there is, but also,
And how the hell did you carry that
go
amp?
far? No. And then
And
everyone's like, oh, how do I get here? Let's go to the party now. Also, the fact that we
those.
all her boyfriend.
Oh, that was funny.
That
That
was a
was
funny
funny.
stretch. Also, Caleb, you fight with swords. If you're gonna dance with Cornelia, at least pretend you're holding a sword, or at least hold her hand. Only my boy is dancing with his girlfriend Irma. I actually had a chance to dance with her. So sorry, buddy, you lost to the nerd. You just lost your credibility. You just lost to the nerd.
You know what's so and Irma's scary when she's strong. Irma must be secretly strong because she tossed him halfway across onto that table. I'm like, damn, Irma. I'm like, okay, Irma, I see you, Irma.
So she's the first one to wear the fishnets, and the first with a throw guy. Irma, I think I was too harsh on you as a kid, so I think you're in second place now.
Yep. But
I enjoyed these episodes. They were fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to join with us on these watch parties and everything, the watch link is right there. It's right there and everything, just to have fun and join us with the discussions and everything. We love doing these. We have so much fun, and also bringing back the classics and everything. Because believe me, in this day and age, it's getting harder and harder with everything going on, but that's for Nightcast. But yes, we will be back with that again. I just didn't feel well yesterday because with everything going on, it's like, my goodness, had the whole thing ready, but then wham, my body went like, I'm like, motherfucker. Because I woke up at 1 a.m. I woke up at 1 a.m. and I'm like, how the fuck? I wish I could I wish I could calm down for once in my life, but I gotta keep it moving. But check out also make sure to check out Joker's poll of what he wants to do next. It's Tomb Raider and what was it again? What was the other one?
So. The second Hellblade game. So.
Yeah, because I can't believe you blasted through Assassin's Creed already. I can't believe that.
I played that game nonstop back in the days, so I knew what I was
doing. You practically knew where everything was. It's like, go here.
Yeah, Paige remembers that, so I liked it enough. I disagree with a couple people's reviews. I'm like, guys, this is still Black Flag. It fits everything. Yeah, there's a few things to critique, but this is still the exact same game that we played beforehand. I have some small stuff with the combat, but if they're willing to get the feedback with these patches, patch it out nicely, fix it up a bit, get some DLCs going if you want to. Also, for those who are wondering about the whole his daughter situation, she was never an assassin. So you don't need a story with her. I would say adapt the comic because Edward does go to Singapore and his daughter does accidentally follow because his wife at that time was trying to warn Edward, saying that the Templars are coming after you, because Edward was in Singapore looking for the piece of Eden. So she's part of that storyline for a little bit, and then not. Also, did you know that she actually resents Hathan after he was born? Yes, older big sis did not like the younger brother for a while. So there's stories to tell. Like they can adapt the actual book of what happened before then. Hell, animate what happened on the night sequence. Hell, we even tell you this. Some writers for Ubisoft even said that they kind of wish they told us what was going to happen to Edward because in the books he goes out one way, but then you play the game and be like, how does he take it out like this when he's doing all this cool stuff in the game? He might have been jumped or something. We don't know. So it's a big debate in the community that how did Edward get killed before everything? So, but that is a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But
big thank you to Katarina Kills for coming for the last few seconds, Bullet for dropping by, and Pedro for always stopping by, and Outlaw George. Thank you guys so much. We love doing this for all of you. Thank you for those who are watching on Twitter and our other platforms we've been streaming on. We'll see you guys for next week, Wednesday, for Nightcast. Bye, guys.
hey, bye guys, we're out of here.